Welcome to Kiss Me Son of Pod, a podcast where I talk about all of the They Might Be Giants songs that I'm writing about over on kissmesonofblog.com, a free newsletter that you can subscribe to if you go there. My name is Chase Roper, and I'm standing outside my work. If you just listen, if you're binging this show, which I don't know why you would be, this is more of a just quickly each week listen to it. But if you're binging this, I am still standing outside. I'm breaking the illusionary wall. I'm not going to look that up. Breaking some of the magic here. I'm still just standing outside my work office. The same day that I recorded last week's because I have so much time on my hands. But even if this was, a different day, this is when I'm going to be recording these up until the person who has the key lets me in. It's a little breezy. Trees are moving their branches around. That's how I describe leaves blowing in the... Stepping outside, all the trees are moving all of their branches around. All right. We're talking about songs from the album Flood by They Might Be Giants. And the next track on the list is Birdhouse In Your Soul. Have you ever found a song that just followed you through your whole life? Let's just get this out of the way right at the top. Birdhouse In Your Soul is a never skip, beautiful piece of music that may very well be one of the greatest songs ever written and recorded. This is not hyperbole. Like many of John Linnell's melodies, preceding hit or to follow, each musical phrase takes you on this cascading journey of almost classical levels of perfection. It is full of so many complementary sounds, and it's arranged like a Christopher Nolan storyboard. The structure of this song alone is a narrative twist. It kicks off with the bridge, followed by a musical intro, and then dives into the chorus before you even hit the first verse. It's a song that just never fails to excite me, especially when I introduce it to the uninitiated. First encounter, notebook in the bedroom. The way I was introduced to this song is, it's serendipitous. As I read the lyrics to the bridge without music or any context, many months before I would finally locate and purchase Flood, my first TMBG record. So last episode I talked about how in the 6th grade, I was in my friend's bedroom. I picked up a spiral notebook laying on his bed, and I read the words that were scribbled down. Those words were, and this is how I read them out loud to him, thinking that he's a goofball. I'm your only friend. I'm not your only friend. I'm a little glowing friend. But really, I'm not actually your friend. But I am. That's how I remember reading, the cadence that I read this. I thought this was some oddball thing he'd written, and I laughed, and I demanded an explanation for this nonsense, and then he told me it was some lyrics he heard that he liked from a song on the radio, a station that his older sister was into and was playing it. Let's, if you've never heard this song, we're going to just listen to the whole song right now, and then I'll talk about the rest of it. So, prepare your ears for greatness. This is Birdhouse In Your Soul by They Might Be Giants.
By the light switch, who watches over you? Make a little birdhouse in your soul, not to put too fine a point on it. Say I'm the only bee in your bonnet. Make a little birdhouse in your soul. I have a secret to tell from my electrical well. It's a simple message and I'm leaving out the whistles and bells, so the room must listen to me. Filibuster vigilantly. My name is Blue Canary, one note spelled L-I-T-E. not to put too fine a point on it. Say I'm the only bee in your bonnet. Make a little birdhouse in your soul. A picture opposite me of my primitive ancestry, which stood on rocky shores and kept the beaches shipwreck free. Though I respect that a lot, I'd be fired if that were my job. After killing Jason off and countless screaming Argonauts, blue bird of friendliness, like guardian angels, it's always near. Blue canary in the outlet by the light switch, who watches over you? Make a little birdhouse in your soul, not to put too fine a point on it. Say I'm the only bee in your bonnet. Make a little birdhouse in your soul. While you're at it, leave the nightlight on inside the birdhouse in your soul. Not to put too fine a point on it. Say I'm the only bee in your bonnet. Make a little birdhouse in your soul. While you're at it, leave the nightlight on inside the birdhouse in your soul. Not to put too fine a point on it. Say I'm the only bee in your bonnet. Make a little birdhouse in your soul. And while you're at it, leave the nightlight on inside the birdhouse in your soul. Not to put too fine a point on it. Say I'm the only bee in your bonnet. Make a little birdhouse in your
All right.
soul.
I'm right, huh? That's amazing. So I had no idea that this song would eventually become tied to memories that I will think about during my last few moments of life. 7 years after I read that piece of paper with the bridge for Birdhouse in Your Soul, I would end up becoming a dad at age 19. Every night when it was time for bed, I would sing my son this song in a more lullaby-anized way, of course, slower, between slower and softer. Over the next 8 years from that point, I would have 3 more awesome kids. For several years, 3 of them were all at an age where they loved falling asleep to me singing them lullaby songs. This song, Older, What is a Shooting Star, and Mammal, among others, were all just sung nightly 3 times per night for at least 3 consecutive years. So now, in my 40s, 3 of my children are adults who can vote. One has finished college and he's married. He's building a life of his own. Half of my kids no longer live at home, let alone want me to sing them songs at bedtime. So this used to be a song that I would hear and think of that day when I read the opening lyrics in my best friend's notebook. Later, I would hear Birdhouse, and I would think of my kids, how they're slowly growing up, and they want to hear these songs as they fall asleep. Now when I hear this song, I think about how my kids have all grown up, and how life is really different, and how I won't ever sing them this song as a lullaby again. So they're roughly as many years ahead of me as there are behind me, which I take medication to stop thinking about so often. And I'm excited to see how many more memories I form around this song that fell into my life one day. And I'm curious to hear if there are any other fan parents who sang They Might Be Giant songs to their kids at bedtime, or if there are any readers or listeners who had these songs sung to them when they were growing up. If it's not a TMBG song, what kind of non-traditional songs did you get sung to as a lullaby? My mom, the reason I did this was because my mom and my dad would alternate singing me lullabies when I was very little. And I remember my mom singing me the Rainbow Connection from the Muppet movie. and my dad singing me Harry Nilsson's song Coconut, which when I found the album as a teenager, the album's called Nilsson Schmilsson. That whole album is incredible. It's amazing. All because of this Coconut song. So anyways, that's why I thought, well, I love these songs. I'm going to sing some of these to my kids. And now look, I hear that song and it's an amazing musical piece of just brilliance, but also my life is so intertwined with personal, deep connections that it's just more than a song to me now. All right, that is the end of this episode. I'm not good at ending these, but thank you for listening. If you haven't subscribed, I get it, but you can subscribe if you want. And if you would like to read about other They Might Be Giant songs, see where the newsletter is at now, I'm probably many albums ahead, definitely many songs ahead from this particular song and track. I'm just going in order, every studio album, every week, the next song. So that's the whole deal. But thanks for listening, and I hope that you come back next week. And I feel like I got to end this is the end of the episode, but then I thought I should probably plug the thing again. And now I'm talking about how I've talked too much at the end. All right, this is over. Have a good day.